Okay, welcome back. Today I'm going to be talking about 3 things that all women should know about their period. There just feels like there is such a lack of education around women's health in general, but specifically when it comes to our menstrual cycle and our hormones. When I was talking to my gynecologist because I figured out my hormones were imbalanced and that I might have PCOS, I swear I was just learning something new every single day. And I don't know whose job it is to educate women on this, if we should be teaching this in school, if our gynecologist should be telling us this, but one of the reasons why I started this channel was just to shed some light on your menstrual cycle and your hormones. Obviously, I'm not a gynecologist, but hopefully this will just spark some women to be like, oh, I kind of want to find out more about that, or oh, maybe I should talk to my gynecologist about this because I just have a little bit of a lack of understanding of what's actually going on in my body. Because at least for me, the more I know about my body, the more I can support it, and that makes me feel really good. Okay, let's just get right into it. The biggest things that have helped me understand my period, starting off with the fact that our hormone cycle lasts the entire month, not just the week that you're actually menstruating. I would always think, okay, I'm menstruating, I feel the physical effects that it has on my body, something's happening. And I would always think like that was the biggest change that my hormones had in my body, but that is not true. Our hormones are going up, they're going down all month. And there are 4 different stages of our hormone cycle: menstruation, the follicular phase, ovulation, and the luteal phase. And in all of those different stages, our hormones are doing different things. And this happens to our bodies consistently every single month for the most part. And you may have already known this if you're a wellness god, but menstruation is actually the first part of our hormone cycle. In my mind, it was always the end, but it is the beginning, and it does make sense when you think about it. Your body's shedding your uterine lining, realizing, okay, there's no baby in here, let's start fresh, let's shed, let's really get this going from the beginning. It feels like almost a clean slate. And during menstruation, like days 1 through 7 of your hormone cycle, you'll notice that your hormones drop, so that estrogen and progesterone, well, you may not notice, but that's what's actually happening. And that's why you feel some of those PMS symptoms that you may feel around your period or when you're menstruating, including cramps and mood swings, etc., etc. This is also when serotonin is dropped and inflammation is rising. So again, why you feel some of those symptoms around that time. The next stage of your hormone cycle is your follicular phase. And technically, correct me if I'm wrong, but you can split up your hormone cycle into 2 stages if you don't want to get as granular: follicular, which includes menstruation, and then luteal, which includes ovulation. But we'll get a little bit more granular here. Menstruation, then we move into the follicular phase, which is like days 7 to 14 of your hormone cycle. This is when follicles on the ovaries start to grow. One matures fully with an egg, and then that egg is released during ovulation. But during our follicular phase, estrogen is rising, so this is maybe a time that we feel super energized, bold, like ready to take on new projects. This is really our time to shine during this stage. It's really when you can accomplish a lot because your estrogen is high. And then moving into ovulation, which is days 14 to 18, this is when that egg that follicle grew is released. It moves down our body. It's waiting to potentially meet up with any sperm. And this is when we're feeling like, again, still energy is high. We're feeling sexy. We're feeling like we want to go out and do things. This is a time to really, really expend your social battery. And then we move into the luteal phase, which is days 14 to 28. So again, technically includes ovulation, but you'll notice that this is when our hormones start to come back down, especially in that later half of your luteal phase, like that week before your period when you may not start to feel some PMS symptoms. It is because our hormones have dropped. So it really does last the whole month, and the different stages of your cycle, if you start to pay attention to them, can maybe help explain some different feelings that you have, the different moods that you're in, maybe why you want to one week run 12 miles at the gym and the next week you just want to lay in bed and do absolutely nothing. It can kind of be explained by those rises and drops in our hormones, which is super interesting to me. Sometimes it's not just a lack of dedication or motivation. It really is your body just being like, okay, this is our time to rest. Okay, so now we know that our hormone cycle lasts 4 weeks. We also know the different stages of our hormone cycle. The next thing that I want to talk about is period pain, which the moral of the story with period pain is that you should not be having any painful periods. It's absolutely not normal, and I feel like just because something is common does not mean that it's normal, and having pain around your period is not normal. There are, of course, some sensations that we feel around our period because of the way our hormones are acting, whether they're down right before you're about to get your period, when you start feeling those like cramps or mood swings or even nausea. But there should be no any type of sharp pain, no cramps that make you want to cancel plans, no mood swings so bad that you're feeling like super, super depressed. Nothing that is just too crazy. So we kind of have to be aware of that. I feel like it's really easy to just like bundle up symptoms into, oh, it's just my period, or oh, it's just normal period pain, but your body might be trying to tell you something. So pay attention to that. If something is feeling really off than just the normal subtle sensations that you feel around your period, maybe let's take a listen. Maybe let's call up our gynecologist and ask if that's normal and see if maybe there might be something else that is going on with our bodies. And I don't say that to scare you, but just to be more educated on what's going on, just to, you know, pay attention if you want to uncover something else that might be happening. And this last point that I want to bring up that I think all women should know about their period goes hand in hand with the last one, that our periods can be a very good marker of our overall health. Our bodies are made to reproduce as women. That's what our hormones are doing every month. So if our periods are not normal, or if we notice something is off with our hormone cycle, it can be just a good indication of, okay, hey, maybe there's something bigger that's going on here. Of course, there are times when people get really stressed or doing a lot of intense exercise that can change things with your hormones. But for the most part, having a consistent period and being able to see like, okay, every month my hormones are doing the same thing, they're working hard, I'm feeling the same way around the same time, it's just a good indication that things are going well. So when things are not going well, or if you're skipping periods or having irregular periods, it's just a good indication like, okay, maybe I should talk to my gynecologist and get this checked out. Maybe I'm too stressed. Maybe I'm working out too hard. It's kind of like our body's way of telling us what's going on without actually speaking, because it can't speak. And paying attention to that is important, in my opinion. And I feel like all women should know that, because I definitely didn't ever really pay attention to my period before I found out that my hormones were imbalanced. Now I'm watching it like a hawk. So, you know, it's important to understand. So those are my top 3 things that I think all women should know about their periods. It's really crazy to me that I didn't know a lot of these things until I started paying more attention to my hormones. Once I realized that they were a little bit imbalanced, that I might have PCOS, it definitely shouldn't have taken me that long to start paying attention. And I hope this video helps other people just start thinking about their bodies and maybe what goes on when they menstruate every month. And if there's anything else that I missed that you think is important for people to know, definitely let me know. I obviously love talking about this. So yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.